Hello, you're watching ERi-TV. Welcome to English News Broadcast. These are the top stories. 3 patients diagnosed positive for COVID-19 in tests carried out today. Nationals in Italy contribute over €250,000. Burkina Faso National Conference approves 3-year military-led transition. And Russian and Ukrainian delegations hold a round of direct negotiations. The local news. We have an announcement from the Minister of Health. 3 patients have been diagnosed positive for COVID-19 in tests carried out today at testing stations in the central region. On the other hand, 3 patients who have been receiving medical treatment in hospitals in the central region have fully recovered and have been discharged from these facilities. The total number of recovered patients has accordingly increased to 9,597, while the number of deaths stands at 103. And the total number of confirmed cases in the country to date has increased to 9,704. Minister of Health, Asmara, March 1st, 2022. Nationals residing in Italy contributed a total of €250,650 to the Eritrean Community Resilience Programs. According to the Public and Community Affairs Office, nationals in Abruzzi contributed €5,550, nationals in Bologna €26,300, nationals in Bari €10,950, nationals in Brescia €1,900, nationals in Firenze €21,800, nationals in Genoa €1,200, nationals in Catania €7,300, nationals in Milan €92,950, nationals in Napoli €10,100, nationals in Parma €6,350, nationals in Pisa €3,700, nationals in Pistoia €2,100, nationals in Palermo €3,200, nationals in Rome €45,350, nationals in Verona €4,700, and nationals in Torino contributed €7,200. Likewise, the National Union of Eritrean Women branch in Italy conducted virtual activity assessment meeting on 20 February in which heads branches and sub-branches from the Italian cities of Genoa, Milano, Brescia, Parma, Bologna, Pisa, Pistoia, Roma, Napoli, Teramo, Pescara, Catania, and Florence took part. The participants of the meeting conducted extensive discussions on the reports presented on a charted-out action plan for 2022. At the meeting, Eritrean ambassador to Italy, Mr. Fisahat Petros, gave extensive briefing on the objective situation in the homeland as well as on the developments unfolding in the prevailing new era. The chairwoman of the National Union of Eritrean Women branch in Italy, Ms. Ngisti Tsagai, expressed readiness to the members of the union in cooperation with the national associations and organizations to reinforce participation in the national development and resilience programs as ever. The head of the National Union of Eritrean Women branch in the southern Red Sea region, Ms. Saadia Ibrahim, held meeting with women representatives, village elders, and head of line ministers in DO semi-urban center, focusing on strengthening participation of women in the education and development programs. Stating that compared to pre-independence, praiseworthy activities have been conducted to empower women, Ms. Saadia said that a lot of remains to be done in terms of developing the overall capacity of women and their participation in the national affairs. Ms. Saadia also said that the number of female school enrollment in pre- and elementary education is growing and called for identifying and addressing the cause of dropouts in junior and high schools. Commending for the encouraging participation and competitiveness of women in the elections of area administrations, managing directors, and village coordinators, Ms. Saadia said that attests to the growing awareness of women. The participants conducted extensive discussion on the report presented and adopted various recommendations. Elections of area administrators, managing directors, and village coordinators were conducted in the 19 administrative areas of Mulki subzone from 24th to the 23rd of February. At the elections, 38 area administrators and managing directors, as well as 61 village coordinators, were elected. This is according to Mr. Zarai Berhe, Molki Sabzon administrator. The newly elected area administrators, managing directors, and village coordinators express readiness to diligently serve the people who elected them and strengthen contribution on the success implementation of development programs in the South Zone. Now back with international news. After a short break. Welcome back. The National Conference in Burkina Faso has adopted a charter that will allow a military rule that seized power in the West African state in January to lead a 3-year transition. This according to media reports. The conference approved the charter, which will later signed by junta leader Lieutenant Colonel Henry Paul Damiba today, after a day-long debate in the capital, Ouagadougou. Damiba, who did not speak during the signing, led the January 24th coup that ousted President Marc Kabore. A commission that drafted the transitional charter had proposed a 2.5-year transition, saying the military rule had said it needed around 2 years to stabilize the country and organize elections. The Russian and Ukrainian delegations sat down and held a round of direct negotiations yesterday. Both sides held talks in Belarus, hearing each other's positions, and agreed to hold further talks in future, according to Vokrosinki, a Belarusian political scholar who is close with the Russian and Ukrainian talks. According to the scholar, Ukraine heard Russia's request to recognize the sovereignty over Crimea, while Russia heard Ukraine's request for an immediate ceasefire and withdrawal of troops, to stimulate key points of the talks at the moment. Officials from Russia and Ukraine ended the first round of direct talks and returned to their respective capitals for further consultations before proceeding to the second round of direct talks. A man shot and killed his 3 children and a 4th person before taking his life in a gun violence that unfolded in a church near California's capital. This is according to the police. Sacramento County Sheriff's Department spokesperson Rod Grassman told reporters near the scene that investigators were seeking clues to the motive for the bloodshed, but believed the shooting stemmed from a domestic dispute. The shooting erupted at about 5 p.m. local time inside the church in Sacramento. A church employee on an upper floor of the church at the time told authorities he heard a single gunshot followed by several more shots before the guy ran out of the building and called police. Sheriff's deputies arriving at the scene found 5 people shot to death, 3 children under the age of 15, the father and another adult who was not immediately identified by investigators. Military helicopters airlifted stranded people from top roofs of flooded neighborhoods in eastern Australia today, following days of torrential rains. As the wild weather slowly shifts south towards Sydney. The death toll rose to 10 after a woman believed in her 80s was found dead inside a flooded property. This according to the police. Flood waters from the surge, which began last week, submerged several towns and bridges in Queensland and southwest Wales, and was moving to the south with heavy rains and possible flash flooding forecast for Sydney. Australia's East Coast summer has been dominated by the La Nina climate pattern, which is typically associated with greater rainfall for a second straight year. And now a reminder of the top stories. 3 patients diagnosed positive for COVID-19 tests carried out today. Nationals in Italy contributed over €250,000. Burkina Faso National Conference approved 3-year military-led transition. And Russian and Ukrainian delegations hold a round of direct negotiations. That's it for today. Thanks for watching.